Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back for week 6 of the God Wars. I will get to the report in just a moment. I wanted to make sure I get everything all hunky-dory and see if I can't figure out how to Hey, I did it. Let's see it. Okay, cool. I actually was able to enlarge the text on my report on my laptop here. Thanks, Justin. I should have known there was a way to do it, but my laptop's got a touch screen, and I thought I could just, expand it. But no, I got to do it the other way. But an old dog like me can learn a new trick every once in a while. So here we go with the report. This is week 6. Any port in a storm. In the lands of the High Elves, Xantar's people could be seen working on his lunar castle while his minions and armies are moving from Iar to the Silver Moon and back again. Teriel and her people could be seen putting the final touches on her grand temple and her grand palace as envoys from the High Elves could be seen entering her lands bearing a great baggage train and many strange, never before seen creatures, large and small. Tamaya and her people have been silent this lunar cycle, save for the elven fleet seen entering her realm and then quickly returning from whence it came. Aradran's people also finished their construction of a grand palace and a grand cathedral this lunar cycle, while smoke continued to blot out the sun over the dark elven mountains and countryside. Dracor raised yet another mountain range, sealing off his realm from the Azkatsi, Mothmen, and the Wind Zed this lunar cycle, and set up his grand palace in the center of his realm. Uxmol, the shade of the sinking plain, and his people have kept silent and out of sight this lunar cycle, despite their neighbors' activity so close to their own borders. Tempestus, the Deep Devourer, and his people could be seen moving about the barrier reefs created around their places of power, perhaps readying themselves for the undead fleets that will pass through their realm in the very near future. Lord Zelix and his people have apparently hunkered down away from the last of the winter storms as they usher in the coming of springtime in the southernmost lands of the southwestern seas. The realm of the Windzed is alive with the sounds of music and celebration in honor of their god Alilith. In the south icy waste, the harvester raised yet another war fleet out to sea, accompanied by another undead horror from the watery depths of Maiar's ancient prehistoric past. Hiza, goddess of the soulless, raised another multitude of the unalive from the bowels of a newly built castle amidst the frozen peaks of her wintry abode. Stundar and his giant children remain ever silent this lunar cycle. If one didn't know better, one might think they had disappeared from the face of Maiar completely. Brutus, lord of the mountains, and his giant children have been quite active this cycle, raising a new city in the mountains while a spiraling tower has risen from one of the coastal mountains while his forges and workshops bellow smoke high into the clouds. Something marvelous, or something terrible, is brewing in the lands of Tengfei the Crimson Crucible, as his hobgoblin minions are working great magics, the like of which have never been seen before on Maiar, as the waves of mystic power can be felt all across Maiar and high up into the heavens. On the island of Ratham Rex, 4 cities have united into a mighty hobgoblin city, while yet another castle has sprung up along its southern shores, as the sound of the trembling of the island can be heard far across the central seas. Elstrandia's minions have erected a castle across from the recently revealed castle of Vermark on Illustrandia's homelands. Whether this will lead to war, none but the wise of Seerskin foretell, and even they are quite silent on the matter, as minions of von Stark have been seen flying to and from their icy stronghold into the northern Arctic waters to Illustrandia's grand palace. Excuse me. The songs of the Siren of the Abyss were low and subtle this week as Click-Clack Bibbledoop swam through the icy waters of her northwestern seas, while rumors and tales of strange sea creatures could be heard in the seaside taverns throughout the lands of Tembra, the god of oaths, and down into the hillside homes and watering holes of Lord Hillfather, god of the halflings. Far to the east, The fields of winged insects have nearly doubled in size in the realm of Timo, and the sounds of the various insects that make up this barrier can be heard by everyone within 1,000 miles. The newly revealed Grand Castle on the southern shores of Illustrandia's realm have just this lunar cycle also finished construction of a glorious temple to Vermark, Lord of the Central Sea, Bothman, while his minions continue to move army after army to this contested coastal theater. The god of death and assassins seems content to stay silent amongst the shadows of the cycle, while his minions continue to sing his praises. The choruses of Hail, Lord Mortis, Lord of Death, Hail the god of assassins. Woe to those who resist us, death comes to all of us. Embrace the truth, embrace the knife that waits for us all. While far to the north, Thanatos and his people have raised a grand temple high in the northern mountains as a bastion of hope for his people during these troubling times. Averon the Balanced has ordered the construction of a small and humble temple and wizard tower within his realm, while his people can be seen and heard hunting a wild monstrosity recently witnessed in the western province of his realm. Eshmun, the river god and god of prosperity, struggled with a terrible famine that erupted soon after the holiday season in his honor. Tembra, the first road and god of oaths, has raised another city, a small temple, and a small keep in a relatively short period of time, all the while maintaining a fair distance from his human godly siblings. Lord Kurza and his people have been working at a furious pace to build not only a grand cathedral this cycle, but they have laid the foundations for another smaller temple and city, all in the space of a few short weeks. The war effort between Gromdar, Lord of the Golden Horde, and Marsala, the Giant and Master of Obsession, seems to be at a lull, or possibly Lord Gromdar has bitten off more than he can chew, as not but a few monster sightings in his southern ranges have been seen or heard in well over 2 cycles. In the land of the Halflings, Lord Hillfeather has overseen the construction of another city, castle, and temple this cycle, while his forges seem to be working overtime as well. Marsala the Giant raised a mighty mountainous barrier between Lord Gromdar's realm and his own, while building a new city near Skullport, despite the rumbling of discontent amongst his people regarding the imminent war with the northern dwarves of Lord Gromdar. Sorry, getting a little thirsty. Violent storms racked the icy shores of Lord Arcanum's realm, forcing his soldiers and those of Lady Izza to halt their hostilities temporarily, at least while Arcanum's forges seemed to be working hard and long into the night to reinforce their borders against the undead invasion from the goddess of the soulless. Let me get a drink. Sorry, guys. Meanwhile, the Pride Lands are rife with activity as Lord Az has launched another mighty war fleet into the northern waters, while his forges billow smoke southward into the realm of Dracor. Civil unrest seems to have reared its ugly head for the Ratkin children of the Piper this cycle as she struggles to keep her armies fed and active against any intrusion into her realm. In the northern realm of Von Stark, his minions have been seen flying to and from the grand castle of Illustrandia, while on the ground his minions seem to have multiplied, which begs the question, just where and how has he been able to recruit so many willing or unwilling participants in his vampiric crusade? And that will be it for week 6. Week 7 will start Friday. And for those of you who've already started sending me your actions for week 7, great job. For those of you who are falling behind, get a hold of me. We'll work something out. Otherwise, I will cut you off and completely out if you continue to be unable to participate. No harm, no foul. I know real life and things like that get in the way sometimes and have to come first. So, there'll be room for you next time, or maybe we can start you up as someone new so that we don't give away who you were, etc. Otherwise, everybody's been doing stuff, and interesting stuff at that. I wish I could tell you more, but I have to keep it vague for the moment. But I'm certain more of your actions will become quite apparent in the weeks to come. So that's what I got for you tonight. I will see you guys Wednesday on Justin's show. I may have a video for you tomorrow. I'm working on a couple of things, but we'll see. And it's almost summer, so go out, touch some grass, get some games in. I will see you guys real soon. Love you guys, and until next time, happy trails.